I want to bring in Roger Altman, founder and senior chairman of Evercore right now. Roger, I'd love to hear your thoughts about what we saw over the weekend, this tragic event, but also how you think it's going to impact this election.
You got it.
Good morning. Well, first of all, my own reaction, like I'm sure yours was one of horror. In my own lifetime, we've had too much political violence in this country. And had that assassination attempt succeeded in this already deeply polarized country, the impact would have been dreadful. So it was one of horror. I'm grateful that President Trump escaped it. It connotes a degree of instability to me, which would cause me as an investor to pull back a bit, but that's not the reaction we're seeing so far.
So that's interesting. Why do you say that would have been your reaction, and therefore are you surprised by the reaction of the markets?
Well, perhaps I'm just more conservative than others, but that's a degree of instability, Andrew, which I don't think is positive for the investment environment. But perhaps investors now think the chances of a Republican sweep House, Senate, and White House are increased, and they may think that signifies more growth. It's not surprising to me that yields are up a bit, because if you think there'll be a Republican sweep, then you don't think there'll be a check on fiscal policy, which already is on a poor trajectory. And so you would, on net, be a seller of bonds.
So as a longtime Democrat, Roger, what do you think President Biden should do in reaction to this? Do you think he should step down? Do you think there's another candidate that could beat former President Trump? What's your handicap of this situation?
Very short term, I think the calls for President Biden to step aside are going to be muted. This is a moment for national unity and not for intra-party wrangling. And at this very moment, he seems firmly committed to running. And I don't see a scenario, at least immediately, where that might change, absent something like another debate performance of the type we saw a couple of weeks ago. I think campaigning itself on the Democratic side, or at least Biden's campaigning, will be reflecting that national unity moment, at least for the time being. You saw that in his comments 3 separate times over the weekend. I don't know where this will be in a month, but that's what it looks like to me now.
Do you think this is a runaway for President Trump now?
No, I don't, because somewhere between 45 and 46% of the electorate repeatedly says, poll after poll, month after month, that it won't vote for Trump. So I still think this election may be relatively close, but have the odds of a Trump victory through this terrible event gone up? Yes, they can. We can all see the prediction markets, which at the moment, even though they're not that liquid and not always right, are showing that effect. So it's more likely that he's elected today than it was 3 days ago. But I don't think we're going to see a Reagan-like landslide. No.
You look at some of the predicted markets and some of the markets overseas where people bet on these things. Somebody like a Gavin Newsom right now looks like they would, have a better chance of beating Trump. Michelle Obama's at 60%, even though she's obviously not considering running.
Well, I mean, like everybody else, I admire Michelle Obama, but she's not going to become a candidate. It's a little bit like asking how people would feel about Joan of Arc becoming a candidate. Look, Leader Schumer and Leader Jeffries have both had private visits with President Biden. I don't see at this very moment much indication that President Biden is likely to step aside.
That's not going to stop us from talking about it every 2 seconds.
No, I know that. I know that, and it's
just please,
it's natural.
Please.
I know it's natural. It's natural. And look, it's a fluid situation.
In the face.
It's a fluid situation. Things could change. I just don't think at this moment the likelihood of a change in terms of the Democratic nominee is all that high, but we'll see.
He seemed to weather the storm amazingly, and it's always been his decision. Always.
That's right.
It would have to be him to decide not to. And
that's right. People misunderstand that.
No matter how much people want that to happen.
You're right, Joe. People misunderstand that. The primaries are over. The delegates are his. The only person who can get Joe Biden out of this race is Joe Biden. And he certainly doesn't look as though he's about to do that to me.